being 6 o'clock of the evening. Oh, sorry, you have to do that. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting of Pacc is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Lunenburg Access YouTube after the meeting. This meeting is being held in person at the location provided in this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person rather than virtual attendance accordingly. Zoom meeting information is in the notice. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by the open meeting law. As we have two members present via Zoom, we will vote, including roll call as well. Roll call, that's right, that's good. So, Mr. Lincoln, are you here?
I am here, sir.
Mr. Serapis,
Here.
you're top left, that's why you got called. The Lady Beale. Are you turned on? I think you're muted.
Is a mute
I
button.
am
Yeah.
here.
Oh, there you are. And Mr. Aschenbach.
Present.
It's as close as I can get. And obviously I'm present, so we have full attendance. Also here is Joe Toll, manager of Pacc. Are there any public comments? Seeing no public and hearing none, do we have any committee comments? Hearing none, moving on. Anybody have any communications? I do. So I follow mass access somewhat. And there was something put out on mass access, which basically is a potential new law that would threaten our funding. And it's a bigger problem than threatening our funding. It's threatening a lot of the powers and abilities of the town itself. So it's called HR 3557. It's called the American Broadband Deployment Act. And the key phrase, I've been pulling stuff up on the web. Do you have that available to run or not, Joe?
I did. You can excuse.
Somebody in New Jersey has made a 3-minute video explaining why this is an issue for public access in particular, and towns and cities in general. Well, Joe finds it. This act would preempt local authority to manage our public rights of way and public lands use for telecommunications infrastructure. It also preempts local rights of way and franchise authority.
I have it.
Give away to cable and telecommunication providers. So essentially, telecommunication providers can come in under this law. They can not have to go through the town or city for all sorts of permits. In the absence of permission being given in a short time frame, they can just go ahead and do it. It's called deemed approved. Love that phrase. So can you run it on as host? Can you run it, Joe?
Oh, it wants to open it in some odd program.
This is quite nicely done. It's somebody from New Jersey who's a member of a local Pacc
Is it possible, do we have permission to put it up on the Pacc YouTube channel?
It's, I believe, in the public domain anyway, but we're specifically allowed in what was sent out to put it up if we want to on our cable system.
Will we need to vote on putting it up on YouTube?
No, that's, Joe can make decisions like that, but good point there, Paul, thank you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Allen, a community television talk show host in Summit, New Jersey. But today, I'm just a concerned citizen who wants to warn you about a dangerous bill that was passed by the House Energy and Commerce Committee. It's called the American Broadband Deployment Act of 2023, also known as HR 3557. This bill would give telecommunication companies like Verizon and AT&T de facto power over local zoning laws by restricting a municipality's ability to regulate land use and their own rights of way when they deploy wired and wireless infrastructure. Now, what does that mean to you? If this bill becomes law, it would impose universal, narrow, and arbitrary timeframes on decisions regarding land use. That will force already overworked municipal employees to make quick decisions on important issues like environmental matters. It could also mean that your municipality will lose hundreds and thousands of dollars in right-of-way fees annually. In addition, it'll begin a new era where the communication providers will gain immense power. They can put poles wherever they want and put equipment on them wherever they wish, no matter what it looks like. This bill represents an unprecedented infringement on your local government's authority to regulate the use of poles that line our streets. It wouldn't even allow municipalities to enforce environmental protections. It would usurp local historic preservation rules, and it would dismiss public safety protections that we put in place locally. Yet, it doesn't even require the carriers to provide broadband service to the underserved communities that need it most. Even local programming that provides transparency of government and important information about our communities can be stripped away forever. Make sure your municipality stays in charge. Contact your local mayor and your council members to warn them of this potential loss of revenue and loss of local control. Ask them to go on the record with a proclamation against HR 3557 and have your local town hall send it to your federal officials. You have to voice your concerns. Contact your state and federal representatives and ask them to vote against HR 3557. Without you, this fight is over before it even begins. The telecommunication companies will gain an immense windfall, while our local communities will lose both their authority and millions of dollars in tax revenue. Ask our federal leaders, stand up for local authority and the municipality's right to regulate the use of their own rights of way. Ask them to vote and defeat HR 3557. Please act now.
Thank you, Joe.
Well,
So,
Who's sponsoring the bill?
what's his name? It's not one of our people. It's Taylor Carter, somebody called Carter.
From what state?
I don't know, but didn't he used to be president, or is that a different one?
He's still alive, actually.
He's doing an amazing job, but I don't know who this Carter is. I have some information on it. Can you make the picture larger, please, Joe?
oh, yes.
Is he connected with these?
I haven't got that far into any of it. I have two concerns here. One is this is a threat to our income, which is our only income, which is our franchise income. And if they can do this and the town no longer has authority and franchise fee capability over rights of way, we're between a rock and a hard place for getting funded. It also doesn't seem to be doing what it should be, but that's not our business at this point, other than citizens. We can have that opinion, that's okay. My other concern is, does the town know anything about this? Because while I don't think we should be leading any effort here, I think we should be making the town very aware of the consequences of this, so they can lead whatever needs to be done. So essentially what I was asking is, can I take that video and stuff that I put together on behalf of this committee
Sure.
to the select board?
Sure.
Because I'm not allowed to do it otherwise. So if somebody made a
Sure,
motion to
I'll
that
make a
effect
motion for that.
and seconded, any further discussion?
Motion to take video and information concerning
HR 3557,
HR 3557 to
the select board and the
Board.
town manager.
to select. I just want to make sure board.
Are you also going to give a copy of the law itself?
It's not
Um,
law yet,
it's
it's a
not law.
bill.
Right,
bill.
it's also not readable, it's written in legalese stuff, but I have been, this pack I'm holding up is a variety of stuff that's written in what's colloquially called English. It's actually American, but we'll get that.
To answer Pete's question, he's the 31st district congressman of Texas.
Texas.
Actually, yes, and there's a second one, there's a Buddy Carter in Georgia. So do you have the, I just was looking it up on the phone while you guys were talking. Is that,
Well, because we needed to know who he was from.
Well, I was wondering if he's connected with.
Say again, Paul?
He's
I
a-
found a Buddy Carter as well as the John Carter from Texas is a Buddy Carter from Georgia. First District of Georgia. So it's one of those two.
Does it give a first name? Oh, thank you.
Buddy Carter, Buddy, and John Carter from Texas. John Carter from Texas is a Republican, aged 82, and Buddy Carter from Georgia is age 60 something. Go back on my phone browser here. Whoops.
I just thought you should answer that in case it was like Connecticut.
Yeah, right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Earl Leroy Buddy Carter is the Georgia First District. And he is
Just right in.
pharmacist, apparently.
You probably, Paul, if you could just, who is sponsoring HR 3557?
Yeah, if you just search on H3507, it comes up.
Who
with,
is sponsoring? Yeah.
two of them, and there are some names here which may also be interesting.
I'm sure there's.
Are champions for advocating for local government and opposing preemption and deemed grant. I love that phrase. Language in both the subcommittee and full committee hearings. So there's a whole bunch of them are down there against it, but the people, the towns representing the people are the ones who have to lead the effort, in my opinion, from our
I agree.
perspective. But our responsibility as a committee is to try and keep us funded. Otherwise, we might just go and sit in a bar and drink.
Well, and so many people have said that they find the town meetings and the committee meetings, they watch them. Lots of people watch a lot of these meetings.
Mhm.
And it's one of the ways to get the information out, because people just don't go to the meeting. Were you able to find out who sponsored?
Yes, so it is Representative Carter Earl Buddy.
Who is Buddy?
Yeah, so Earl, otherwise known as Buddy Carter of Georgia, is the sponsor. And it says his co-sponsors as well, but he's the head person. House Energy and Commerce, Natural Resources, Transportation, Infrastructure. And I think this bill was introduced in May of 2023.
You gotta try to figure out why he's pushing for it, other than,
Right, but our first step is to
Yeah.
make sure,
right.
uh,
I think he's gotta be a spokesman for somebody.
Looking at the bill itself, section 101, preservation of local zoning authority, it says that except as provided in this paragraph, nothing in this act shall limit or affect the authority of a state or local government or instrumentality over decisions regarding the placement, construction, or modifications of personal wireless service facilities.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go into the details.
Yeah,
of-
but I don't want to just vote for something that I haven't read and really know what it's
You're
saying.
not.
You're not,
You're not.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, Steve, why don't you go ahead?
We're voting to allow Steve to talk to the select board and Heather to make them aware that there's something coming up that we all need to look at to make sure it's not going to adversely affect us. We're just
Okay.
giving permission to talk to them. not-
Right. I would also recommend that we make sure that the town solicitor has a copy of this bill.
Not, do we have such a person?
Town attorney.
Oh, town attorney.
Pardon?
I'm
Yeah, the
really,
town attorney, I'm sorry.
Heather can forward that to him.
yeah, I'm really
Okay.
trying to hand this off with our concerns to the people who need to do the work. And that's the
Right.
select board. I think essentially it's just the select board, the way we're structured. But Heather should be on board and is definitely necessary in the process. But I'm trying to avoid us becoming people who have to read some of this stuff. Because I do know from your comment elsewhere, it does say if it's not approved fast enough, it's deemed granted, and that overrides what you just said. So there are people who are experts in this stuff, and it sure is whatever is me. So
Yep, me either.
exactly. That's why I want to hand it off. But
I like the way that Steve phrased that we're just giving a heads up that here's an issue that might affect the town and that it needs to be given consideration.
he's quite good with words. I'm quite impressed.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
So if you
Never
make
said
the
that.
motion, if you make the motion,
To allow Steve to take the video and information and concerns of HR 3557 to the select board and town manager.
Representing Pacc.
Oh, representing.
So no further discussion?
I have a question, but the question could,
Down to Lunenburg. Besides us,
Well, it doesn't benefit us.
does it benefit Lunenburg in any way? Giving them-
It was
they have the
supposed
right
to, you're taking him out of my comfort zone. It was put forth as a way of extending broadband to people who don't have access to it at supposedly reasonable cost. It's targeted at wireless, but the problem is to do wireless, you have to put antennas and amplifiers and wire them all up together and heaven only knows what. I haven't looked at it. I'm trying not to see if there's any benefit to Lunenburg. I only see.
I don't see how they could be.
No, because Lunenburg, I believe, is well covered by broadband,
Yes.
except for Tom Alonso, who I think has 1.5 kilobits. 80 servers up his driveway. So,
Wow. Down the big metal fence that's around his house.
it's focused on it, Starling. Okay, I believe we're ready and being.
I'll
zoomed
second.
By
Okay.
roll call, Mr. Lincoln,
I,
Mr. Sarapis,
I,
Lady Beal,
Yes.
and Steve.
I
And myself, so that's unanimous. I don't need to call for. So thank you. This is self-defense. That's all we're trying to do.
can I ask a question about the time frame? Joe might know, or you might know, Steve. how, like, when is this gonna come up for a vote? Does anyone have an idea when that's
I-
gonna
At
happen?
this point, I have no idea. I just want to make sure that our representatives are aware that this is stupid.
Well,
Okay.
even it would still have to go to, after it goes to the House, and then it would have to go to the Senate to be, for reconciliation. And then
Right.
it would have to be voted by the Senate. So it doesn't seem like it's,
Sure, but nipping it in the bud is the time to do it.
Amen.
where did you get that?
It says so.
Oh, it says, my husband looked it up and he said it says that there's a 21% chance that it will get passed. It
That's
says
still
in the
one-
information.
That's still 1 in 5, but thank you for that. Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that's helpful, yep. Anyways, it's going forward, that's great. To the
Okay,
select board.
moving along, review and approve the minutes from the 4th of December.
Well, you weren't there. but I sent them to you though.
You just sent me the minutes, but not the agenda.
It was in the same email.
2 attachments.
2 attachments, yeah.
Look, there it is, to the page, there it is.
Oh, I came in earlier. No,
That's December 4th.
yeah.
It was a separate, it was 2 different attachments. So it wasn't one file. You probably did the first one and didn't do the second one.
Okay, does anyone,
This is, what could be like, December 4th.
This is right.
Yeah, this is
Anyone
the
have
same one
any-
the day before.
anyone have any? Anyone have any comments on the minutes? I do.
Okay,
Anyone else? On the second page, under the last bullet, but 3 at the top, where it says balance potentially Comcast. It's not the budget over $1 million. The budget would be really nice if it was over $1 million. It's the enterprise fund balance.
so balance 988, plus
Yeah.
potential Comcast fee will put. What over $1 million? Balance.
The enterprise fund balance.
Thank you. Enterprise. Fund balance. Okay,
So
I'll make that correction.
the general rules, would somebody who was present at the meeting make a motion to accept the minutes?
I make a motion.
Second that,
All seconds it. By roll call, we have
You have to,
Abstain.
you have to say abstain.
I'm saying, okay.
Paul,
aye,
Faith,
Aye.
Abstain
Steve, approved
as amended.
as amended. Excellent.
Here's the agenda. Okay, managers monthly.
Managers, no, I'm supposed to, what are you doing? Managers monthly report, Joe, if you'd be so kind.
Okay. This is Joe Toll speaking. It was rather a slow month, with the holidays and everything. We did have a Castus issue on December 11th. According to Eric, an HDD partition failed. But it was rebuilt and resolved. The problem was resolved the next day on December 12th
By Castus? or
by
what?
Castus.
Excellent.
ARPA spending. We just put in our first ARPA order with B&H for videographer kits. And we spent a total of $5,211.
The ARPA budget was,
And the ARPA budget, this is only the videographer portion of
Yeah,
our
that's
ARPA. I believe it was $12,000. Let me double check that.
rings a bell.
Sorry, I should have had that page marked. Yes, we're budgeted for $12,000 for the videographer upgrades. So that is actually a good thing that it came under, because I believe that the broadcast section of ARPA that we outlined was for the Bellotta room. And I'm making an educated guess that the audio system is gonna come in over $4,000.
Including the consultants.
Right, so
Okay,
it's a good thing that that came in at that.
is your opinion that this is complete, or there's still going to be some?
There may be some small things.
They're called odds, sods and bodykins, I mean, did you get that?
No, I'm not really.
Well, we may have some more bodkins.
Oh, we had a bodkin,
We had a bodkin, we lost her.
yes. that's
Yeah.
true. What did they-
She's doing great, though. I ran into her
Oh, you did?
recently. Yes, she's doing
Cool.
fantastic. Yeah.
Okay,
So now, after, we should be getting this equipment in by Wednesday. We're gonna go through it all. And then we're going to go on to the studio equipment, which includes cameras, a few tripods. A number of different
The next
things.
phase is camera.
Next phase is cameras and, now I forget what it was
Just
going
the
to
top.
be, have it right here.
And support.
Cameras, a few tripods, we need set furniture or enhancements. We may return the teleprompter that we got, it's not working that well. So we have projected for the cameras, the camera lenses, the tripods, the set furniture, perhaps a different teleprompter. Perhaps an upgrade in our audio, and also perhaps a NAS system to store all of our videos on. We project that to be 34,000. I think we're gonna come under again. But we have to review the list more closely.
I'm somewhat confused with the kits, because some items there's only one, and some items there are three,
Right,
some items there are four. Are we doing four full kits, or?
well, we decided to get one for now and see how it's utilized instead of having it for every kit.
You mean some things,
Some things, like
the Zoom,
the Zoom, we decided to buy one to see how often it's used. We could go back in and get one for every kit.
Well, no, I understand being cautious and testing things. You know me and testing things, I do that. But I'm just concerned that if we do need it for all of them, then there isn't money left over at this point.
Well, there is money left over. We could go ahead and as soon as those come in, we can test them out and see.
You're right, I mean, but you were saying we might need to use some of that money for the audio system in the Bellotta. I'm just.
Which would still leave us some money.
We can't double account. What are the cameras?
The cost of the cameras, if
No,
we
no.
go,
For the kids,
we didn't get cameras for the kids.
so we're using ones we already have.
Yes,
That's right, I'm just trying to.
and then when we get the studio cameras, we're gonna take those two off of their
So two of them will
duty
be
there.
better than the other two.
Two of them, actually, our best ones are the Sony cameras we have.
Mhm.
And then the JVCs, we have 2 JVCs in the studio.
Yeah,
So
we had 3, but then that's.
we do have 3, Kayla has 1.
Oh, okay,
And so the 2 cameras that are currently used as studio cameras or JVCs, those will come out and be loaners.
yeah,
So. The lighting rig is something that's not used all the time, so putting that in a kit, it's also pretty large. So it'll just be available for the
okay,
videographers
by situation.
by situation.
It's good, it's only a 2-light kit, because you have a 3-light kit. And one of the lights actually reflects off the top of your head.
So there's everything there that,
Thank you, Joe.
and like I said, if we test out the recorder and we find it's being used, we'll buy 2 more. The annual report is due on the 15th of February. I will be working on that very soon. There is a water district meeting coming up on Wednesday. That's very important. Dan and Kayla are gonna cover it.
Yeah.
Dan is bringing a wireless microphone. That's probably the best we're gonna do with them, considering that they don't want us to audio record. They have microphones,
Right,
but they're not very good. So Dan will have a wireless mic near the speaker.
I was saying, yes, just put it near the speaker.
and this was actually approved by the attorney, as I recall. Just- We ran into a
Yeah,
bunch of trouble with them.
yeah,
We are entitled to do an audio recording.
yes, we're entitled
End
to
of
do that.
statement. That's all I want to make sure.
But the water department didn't want us putting mics in front of them, because they
They
wouldn't have
want-
control.
They
Right.
wanted to have control of the mic.
So we put it in front of the speaker, they control their mics.
Oh, when you said speaker, you mean the
Yeah.
loudspeaker?
The
Ew.
audio speaker,
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you meant the person speaking.
no,
no,
no, I got it as the audio.
no, we
speaker.
can't do that with them.
No, they won't
Actually,
allow that.
Actually, we
They won't
can,
allow it.
because the attorney said we could. We're entitled to, but if this gets around it, I'm good.
Okay,
It's
The
gonna be
trouble
a
is,
tough one to film with a lot of people there.
there will be a lot of
lot of
people there, yeah.
putting a mic in front of a speaker very often gets abysmal quality and interesting background noises. It's not,
He's gonna use a wireless.
Mm,
You're talking about background noise, the wireless is forward. Omni or forward, it's a forward one, right? The field of,
No, it's a handheld.
shotgun would be good.
if you can put a bowl. So that it only takes the sound from the speaker, if you're worried about sound from the audience.
Just by the
Actually,
time
if he puts it, you know what, if he puts, is it one speaker? He's just gonna put one in front of one speaker.
Mhm.
If he puts it 1 or 2 inches away from the speaker, you can turn the gain down and you only get the speaker.
Right, but you'll still end up,
No,
you
no,
know.
because the outside sound won't be strong.
Oh, no, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned that.
You'll get crackles and stuff.
All sorts of stuff comes out of the speaker that
Right,
we.
I know what you mean, but I thought you were talking about like audio noise.
No, just
He needs to put the mic as close as he can to the
Mhm.
speaker and offset it slightly. Not straight on, but offset it,
Okay,
just a hair, not into the center, but slightly.
Actually, the other thing
Like right
is,
about, you know, an inch or 2 off center, pointing towards the center would be good.
if it's multi-speaker in the cabinet,
Oh, then it's not gonna, then do the mid-range speaker, because that's
I
where the
like,
voice
if
is.
there's 3, do the mid-range.
Yeah, if there's 3 speakers, do the mid-range.
Actually, Dan, I think is pretty good at this.
I'm sure he is, but I'm
Yeah.
just trying to say,
Yeah.
depending on the speaker. Right, if there's a tweeter, don't do the tweet, if it's tweeter and a bass, don't do the tweeter.
Actually, what you want to be is far enough away against what you just said.
I was thinking of a
So- I
single
know,
bass
So
guitar.
you
amp.
see both of them.
Right, yeah, it's gotta be far enough if there are 2, you know what I mean?
right, but
Dan's pretty good
I
at this
remember
stuff.
last meeting, there was one.
No, but
in-
you know
in
how
the
a
box,
guitar
how many speakers are
often has just one cone inside?
Right,
That's what I'm talking about, if there are two, a tweeter and a base, then you need to have it far enough away so they can get both,
Okay,
that's all. I would.
Actually, if,
Depends on the microphone they use. Oh,
yeah, but I think Dan's good at this stuff, so,
Dan's judgment is fine.
yeah, it's Dan's judgment, but if, you know, if Kayla's focused on video and Dan's focused on audio, rather than running into each other, that might be a good idea.
okay. Oh, did you have a question?
No.
Oh, I thought you said something.
Oh, well, it's just, you mentioned Kayla. I should have done a public comment, board comment. From the Council on Aging, thanks to what she did for the 2nd Century Club
Oh,
videos. She did a great job and everybody really appreciated that.
Okay,
They've been watched a lot and it's really nice holiday thing to watch.
What was it called?
It was the Century Club. We initiated 200-year-old people on the 6th and 19th.
to 100,
Yeah.
not 200, 200 years old.
there's 200 people in town.
I'll put it under committee comments,
Okay.
you know, it
I
wasn't.
thought it was supposed to say something, but
Huddle is the high school's video product that they use. They
for
buy
sports.
it for the sports
Yeah.
and then sell subscriptions to the parents to watch those sports.
In real time or delayed? I think it's intended for real time,
Perhaps, yes,
because the coaches don't like that.
well, Eric's been in touch with the athletic director, because we would like to take that footage and air it. However,
Good luck with that, but we've been through this one before.
I
But
know,
we have a new athletic director since then.
well, he's willing to share it with us at a fee, for a fee,
No,
no.
absolutely not.
yeah,
That's such a bad precedent.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
A little brusque, but.
Yeah.
Is that for a fundraiser for the sports? Is that why
I
it
wonder
was?
if there's not a kickback, but
No,
I I'm not
think-
sure.
I think it's commercial though, so this is where their money comes from. So the school doesn't buy the equipment, I don't think. So it's sort of rented, paid for by these fees.
I'm assuming from what Eric has told me that he mentioned another town that paid $10,000 to get Huddle. And then they have to recoup that 10,000 from subscriptions from parents.
and if we offer it free on cable, they're not getting reimbursed.
Yeah, that sort of defeats it.
Yeah,
In fact, I wonder if Huddle will even let you put it on cable. Now that you
there's
make that point.
there is one cable access center in Barry, Massachusetts
Ooh,
that does
golf
take
course,
the
yeah.
Huddle. Does get the, oh, you're from Barry?
Well, it swears.
Where, okay. They do take it and they run it and they pay a fee to the school. Yeah,
I mean, it's just such a bad precedent.
yeah,
They should
Yeah.
be paying us to put it on cable.
exactly. I wanted to bring it up to see how you felt about it, but I think I know how you feel about it.
Wonder where she got that from.
Okay,
When I was in the school, they didn't want anything televised live because
Right.
parents wouldn't come and pay the fee to get the school.
That's what we found out before, when we tried before.
But I don't know, that's not what it changed.
But I believe Huddle is also not only VOD, but it's particularly useful for coaches to go back and look at particular aspects of the game.
mhm.
I don't know, is it a one camera one, do we have?
The basketball one was,
Whoa.
They have one for football.
But I
and-
know they've got ball tracking or something like that in it as well.
Yeah, I watched one today.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was really good.
It doesn't need staffing though,
No,
but, well. see
I
what
know
the
how
next
you
step
feel.
is. Yes, I believe you do.
Okay, as Pete mentioned, we recorded the Century Clubs. We did a CPR update, we did basketball. And I ran the Yule log on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on Channel 9.
Actually, we
I
had
saw that.
Yeah, did you get warmed up?
Yeah. Actually, I was, yeah,
Good,
I was
good,
trying to spot where it looped and I couldn't find it.
58 minutes.
So it's just one fire? It looked like it was about 3 minutes worth of fire. Looping.
They probably looped the fire
That's what I
for
meant.
58
'cause
minutes.
None of the logs.
And then
ever
it
looped.
started all over again. I attended an Excel class for intermediate users, and Kayla attended a beginner's Excel class in December. The only downside so far with the financials is that November franchise fee has not been posted yet. And we're in January. So I have to get in touch with,
That's last year.
yeah,
Hmm. Is the finance department struggling at the moment? Do we
In
have,
Lunenburg,
do we have a finance director who's full-time?
not that I know.
Okay.
no, they just hired an accountant assistant
Yes.
to that position that is unfilled.
Okay.
So I could go in and check. I think Karen's still coming in a couple of days a week, as
That
far
was
as
my
I know.
understanding. I don't know if she's still doing it.
Let me contact Karen to see if we can get
But
that.
we actually, that's kind of an important piece of money. And if for some reason it's not shown up, we need to pursue it.
Right. And that's all I have. I have the financials for you to peruse. And as far as the colored copy of the program analysis, Paul, is available.
Thank you. Someday I'll be, oh, that is very handsome. Perfect, yes.
Um,
I'll get that from you, after,
sure.
SOP. Yep. Thank you.
So, we're at 64% local. I'd like that to be around 70. But we're still a little bit ahead of last year as far as programs being created. We're up to 70 programs in Q2. So, and we did 119 all year last year, so we're doing okay. I already mentioned the water district. Everything else is non-urgent, I should say, for this month. Story time is on the 17th. Okay, is
It's
it
on
your
group,
group?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I put 11 o'clock
That's
AM,
good.
that's
Yeah,
flexible,
that's good.
okay. Okay, and then the last couple of pages or memos from the town about the annual report and the recycling product procurement policy.
Either of those affect us, I mean, the report does, you will do that. Plus it'll come through us for review.
It will come, I'll have it for review at the February meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do we generally model it after the previous year's?
Yes.
Write-up part?
Yes. Yep,
Joe doesn't edit all 22, change to 23 throughout. That's it.
that's how I started out, yeah. I recreate the wheel.
That's right.
Thank you.
I think the first time you did the annual report or something, we worked over the description of the department and everything for
Right.
quite a
right.
while.
Yep.
Anything else, Joe?
That's all I have for now. If there's any questions.
Hearing none, thank you very much. Appreciate what you've done, what you're doing, and where we're going, or something like that.
I
Yeah,
think that's a couple of things. One other thing is, I'm doing doing an audio review. For the Bellotta Room. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Oh, the consultant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find different audio consultants.
Yeah.
So that's in process.
Do we have to go through?
Yes, we do.
You're not even gonna let me ask, are you?
If it's over,
It better not be. I know. but
I don't, audio is an expensive
it
field.
is. 10 grand, we could get 5 sets of hearing aids and just give them to the select board. Just turn the week up. Uh-oh. I guess Paul disappeared. Thank you, Joe. I think I said the enterprise fund investment status.
I'm here, I'm just muted my screen for a minute.
Okay. The enterprise fund investment status is unknown because the timing of it coming to us, as I've said before, isn't very compatible with us meeting at the beginning of the month. So we hope to have that for February, which will be the December one. Anything further to bring up from any of the members of this august committee?
This is a futuristic question, but the 100th committee is already planning to do a lot of activities in the town hall. And in 2028, do we expect that the studio will still be there? Is there any plans, any talk at all of moving? I heard somebody saying they're gonna move it to Turkey Hill.
Move our studio?
Mm.
I haven't heard that.
Okay. Well, maybe
No, I
just-
haven't
we'll
heard
just
that.
talk. It's just, it seems a long way out, but some of these things have to be planned years in advance. And there's several things, especially first night, all takes place in the town hall from 7 to midnight.
But why are you worried about where the studio is? Or is it the control room? you're worried?
Control rooms, I mean.
Okay, no, I'm just trying to make sure
Yeah.
we're on the same
Yeah,
page.
control room.
As far as we know, that'll be the last thing to move. Because it's set up, when we get to move it, Comcast is gonna have to get involved. Because that's where we link into the network. So that will probably be a non-trivial day or two while we don't have service while that is reconfigured. But we don't have space yet. What I did find, and I shared with Joe the other day, which was interesting, that if we stay in TC Passios, there's a cable, public access cable in Billerica, and they are in a repurposed school. They have completely redone all their studio, including the kitchen studio. She didn't mention a wet bar in what I read, but I mean, we can work around this stuff. But she,
It's no secret bookcase.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. And, I mean, it was fascinating what they were talking about in that report.
It's the 10.
It's a very sensitive microphone. You know.
I know. He knows what I mean.
Okay, the next meeting, I believe, is at 6 o'clock on February the 5th, 2024, in the Sodolnik room. At which point, hearing no other commentaries, I will entertain a motion.
Move to adjourn.
I'd second that.
No discussion, by definition. All those in favor, Pete,
Aye.
Paul,
I.
I
Steve,
Aye.
Steve, aye. Thank you all. Did we make it under an hour?
6:59.
Beautiful.
We should start.
We
See you at
start-
rec.
We started at 6:08.
See y'all.
Bye.
Thank you all. Good
Bye.
night.